Welcome to another episode of Cocktails with Cousins. I'm Erica,
I'm Raina.
and we are here to talk about Love and Marriage Huntsville, part 3 of the reunion. This is the final episode of this season. So we're going to jump right on into all the good things that happened because I swear I was like roadrunner trying to keep notes. Before we get started, go ahead and hit the like button. We know that you're going to like it. You like it every time. That's why you keep coming back to see us. And then make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode, and share it with other people so we can have more people to talk to. All right, so let's jump right on in. I started my notes off with they were finishing up the conversation between Louis and Marceau. And Marceau and Tisha were saying, like, we're the ones on the stage that have been married the longest. We don't understand why all the new people keep wanting to try to check us or whatever. And Louis was like, well, just because you've been married the longest doesn't mean anything. I've known people that's been married for 20, 30 plus years or whatever. And it was funny to me because Marceau was like, well, I don't want your advice. But I was thinking the same thing kind of as Louis. Like, you guys want to talk about your street creds as far as marriage is concerned, but you guys have the lack of communication of everybody. Out of everybody on the stage, you guys have like the blatant lack of communication in your relationship. Like, what did you think of that conversation? Because I just don't think that Marceau likes Louis too much. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh, he definitely does not like Louis. He doesn't like anybody giving him any type of advice, whether you're a doctor or a psychiatrist, whoever. He just doesn't like taking any type of advice from anybody. He thinks, I think he's a know-it-all. So that's my 2 cents. But I agree. Like, if you watch Marceau and Tisha, I couldn't tell that they were married. They've been married for that long. I know.
They have some very much. I know he said last episode that you get through year one, like you have to get through year one, like it would be criminal if you didn't. But they're like year 1, year 2 in their communication. Like, I think that since, like, because even since the show has started, she's developed some in how she communicates with him. Because I feel like before the show, it was kind of like, and this is my opinion, that he probably said whatever he wanted to happen and she just did. Mm-hmm. Like, I could 100% see that being the case. And then I guess when she got on TV, she was like, hold on, wait, that doesn't look well on TV. Right. She's been trying to, step it up with her communication, but she's not there yet. But I mean, she gets her communication from Miss Wanda, so that's a part of it.
Well, and honestly, I can't fault her all the way. It's Marceau as well. He's not all the way receptive.
No, he
can say all she wants to. Yeah, but if he doesn't want to hear it, he doesn't want to hear it. He's not going to.
And he's not going to do it.
He's not. He's really not. And when I watch them, I do feel sorry for her at times. But in the same token, I feel like he's the only person who can get through to Tisha, because she doesn't. She has her own logic. I'll put it that way, and I'll leave it at that.
I swear, she has her own way of hearing things, and how she perceives them. Speaking of how she perceives them and how the ladies perceive them, let's just go right on into the ladies' night. Woo, child, like what you started off. Like, what was your takeaway from ladies' night?
So, Destiny still thinks Tiffany is messy, and I mean, I think disagree. I think after watching the clip that they showed, about when they first met at Destiny's birthday dinner, right? Or birthday lunch, whatever, brunch. Tiffany, the way she started that whole conversation off was not good. It was very messy. And so my thing is like, okay, if that was your first impression, you got to dig and do a lot to come back from that. But has she though? No, because she does it with other people, right? So
exactly.
Yeah,
she even did it with Kimmy at that same.
Yeah,
she even did it with Kimmy at that lunch. It was like she went from person to person. Like, oh, I know you. Let me tell you all the messy parts about everybody in that one sitting.
Right, and this is why I didn't really feel sorry for her when Marceau and Tisha were kind of going in on them about the transparency thing.
Yeah.
I understood what they were saying, but in the same token, I do understand, like, that's not how you get to know people. Period. That's not, but I understood why they were doing it, right?
Yeah.
So,
it
but
definitely made an impression.
Yeah, but you know, Destiny, she mentioned, she was like, okay, so Tiffany basically, well, it was a half-ass apology at Taco Tuesday. You know, she said she didn't feel like it was, you know, authentic. So there was that. And she said, but I did also notice anytime Tiffany tried to open her mouth, Destiny was not ready to receive it. She making all kinds of faces, rolling her eyes, doing, and I'm like, okay, yeah, there's a deeper issue. Like they just don't vibe well. I feel like they just don't vibe well.
No, not at all. And then it was funny because Mel was saying that she felt like Destiny was like a dog with a bone when it came to Tiffany or whatever. But it's like I can see both sides of it, because if you came to my birthday dinner and you was talking all that foolery and nonsense and telling me, oh, I remember you were the other woman that I, you know, whatever. I don't know if I can let that go. I might put that bone as well. So I get it, but it's like, girl, I just need you to come. She needs to come back a little bit calmer. Or it was funny though, because I don't know if it was this episode or last, when she was talking about the comments on the internet, on social media, would make you want to harm yourself. I was like, girl, you kind of deserved everything you
did. You did it to yourself. Did it to yourself.
Exactly. And then Mel talking about she wants the peace between the two of them. I was like, Mel, I don't know if that's coming anytime soon.
Yeah, no. But I thought it was interesting to hear that Mel and Destiny haven't been talking since the show, since they stopped filming, right? And so that was, I was a bit shocked to hear that. And so Destiny didn't know where their friendship stood. But if you listen to Mel, when she was saying, she was like, well, I'm sorry you feel that way. It's nothing personal, I promise. And so I understood what Mel was saying, but then here comes Messy Tisha jumping in with her 2 cents, you know, well, I think that's BS. I think that's just an excuse. Girl, bye. I don't like Tisha. I'm sorry, I said it. I'm not sorry. I don't like Tisha.
Look, I'm going to play devil's advocate in this sense. The way that Mel described how she was like, oh, she just separates herself from everything with love and marriage, and that she doesn't reach out. I don't know. It did kind of get it gave like user vibes. In my notes, I said, oh, Tisha's calling Mel a user. And I said, she actually might have this one right. I just couldn't understand.
So, look,
if they're girlfriends, why disconnect from your girlfriends?
That's a good point. And it was Destiny. And it was Destiny. So, but I don't know. I feel like the person who kind of took the most or got the blunt end of it all throughout the show was Mel. Her divorce being public, the infidelity being public, and it's on TV, but it's reality for her. She having to cover for her kids and their feelings, and trying to, you know, be there for her kids when they see Martell out in public with his baby mama and son. Like, it's a lot. And I honestly, I don't know. I feel like I've never been in production before, so I wouldn't know the first thing of it. But I couldn't imagine. Like, I can't blame Mel. I couldn't blame her. I mean,
I get it from both sides. My thing is, I'm like, y'all supposed to be so close, and that's why y'all filming y'all life together. Like, who does she reach out to? Maybe her mom. I don't know. I get it. Like you said, she's been through a lot. So, and is still going through a lot, because I mean, she even expressed that throughout the reunion, that, you know, she disliked being in Huntsville or whatever. But no, I get it. Like, I'm playing both sides of the field here.
But you know what though? I'm not not gonna lie. Now that you bring it up, if I was Mel, I would not want to be in Huntsville. So I would probably be in Atlanta, to be honest with you. And maybe that's what she's doing, and that's probably why she don't talk to anybody in Huntsville, because she's trying to get away and separate herself from that. So who knows?
Yeah,
but,
I mean, possibly it. I mean,
yeah.
it's not like hop, skip, and a jump away, so she could go back and forth. Now, one thing that we did forget between Destiny and Tiffany is when Tiffany had the nerve to call Destiny judgmental.
Oh, so did. Yeah, she did. She said that. She said,
pot me kettle.
Pot me kettle. Exactly. That's it right there.
Like, a girl, like, how you even fix your mouth to say that you would just that somebody else is judgmental? But anyhow,
yeah, they both. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. But then, okay, you already put it out there. Tisha is a whole hot mess. Did you have a conversation between her and Kimmy?
Yeah.
It was a bunch. Basically, Kimmy said that Tisha is spoiled and that what she wants is what she wants. And she wants her sometimes to even be biased in her favor. Like if you know how they flash back and they were talking about, I think it was maybe season 1 or 2, where they were talking about Mel. And Kimmy was like, yeah, we were talking about Mel. Like, I'm not even gonna sit here and act like we didn't. We did. And she was like, you didn't have my back, and you were supposed to be there for me. And she was like, what am I supposed to do? Lie? Like, I mean, we did. It's
exactly. Exactly. I mean, Tisha she literally expect Kimmy to not speak to Mel or not be friends with her just because she has an issue with Mel. Tisha, this not 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade. Like, I don't have to cut off my friend because you're not friends with her no more. That's not how it works. So there's that. And when Kimmy was trying to explain when she did have Tisha's back, Tisha would not shut up. She just kept talking and talking and talking. And Kimmy was like, Tisha, pipe down. Like, just be quiet and let me talk so I can try to explain to you the point you want me to make. And Tisha was like, don't talk to me like that. And I'm like, oh my God, see, I can't talk to people like Tisha.
No.
You just can't talk to people like Tisha. Like, there's no getting through. So
I would have shut down the whole conversation.
Yeah, she finally be quiet, and the conversation continued. And Tisha said something about, well, I go hard for my friends. Kimmy says, when have you gone hard for me?
Oh goodness, she's so simple. I always go hard for you. I was thinking, like, hold on, wait, can somebody show me that footage? Because I have never seen you go hard for her.
Never. Now,
never, ever.
I'm actually proud of Kimmy because Kimmy has always been the level-headed one to me, right? And even when she has every right to go off on somebody, she typically does not.
No, she doesn't.
You know, she holds that in. But this reunion, Kimmy let it go. Like, she said, she spoke her truth. She said what she had to say, get it off her chest. She did that.
She even went back and was like, and I've been holding my tongue since you and your mama was talking about me that whole season. It was like, there you go, girl. Lay all the cards out on the table.
That's right. I know that's right. Yep.
Yeah.
But here's the part though. Carlos asked Tisha, he asked Kimmy, he said, is Tisha the type of woman you'd be friends with if y'all weren't related? Ooh. She said no, because I don't have that kind of energy. I just don't in life. And I was like,
ugh. Ooh. I was like, well,
that was a loaded question.
It was. Mm-hmm. But can you blame her? Like, who would want to deal with that? Like, all the back and forth, all the foolery and nonsense. Tisha thinks she's going hard for her because she planned her her bridal shower. Like, girl, I don't have the time or the energy to pacify your feelings. Like, if you're gonna be my friend, don't be my friend and expect me to treat you in a way. It's almost like she wants her to treat her in the way that she's not being treated at home. Like, I feel like her husband should be in that boat and be going hard for her no matter what. But your friend, no, your friend's supposed to be the ones to keep it real with you.
Yes, exactly. And I'm like, Kimmy is the type of friend that you want and need, right?
Yeah.
But Tisha can't. She makes me. She makes me.
I know. Because Kimmy is like the friend that is going to, she gonna tell you when you're wrong, but she gonna help you get it right too. And that's what you need in your life.
And that's what you need. Like, Kimmy is the friend. I bet you she's a Libra. For me, Libras, they got it.
That's just how it is.
They're balanced scale. You know what I'm saying?
Now you know I'm gonna have to look that up. Now I need to see what she is. Look, yeah. She's a Libra or she's a Karen Cancer. One of the two.
Hey, I'm a Karen Cancer.
I was about to say, you know how us Cancers be.
I know it. So Carlos then asked Tisha, does it break your heart hearing that? And she said, if she don't want to be friends, we don't have to be friends. If you don't want to be family, we get to be family. Right?
Exactly. I was like, girl, there you go, throwing a tantrum.
And that's what Kimmy was like, do you see that energy right there? That's what I'm talking about right there. That energy right there. And I'm like, exactly. Yeah, I feel you, girl. I feel you. I don't want to be friends with her either.
No, not at all. Not at all. And then Tisha started up with Mel, and she kept bringing up the past about them being online, saying Mel was trying to ruin her marriage or whatever. I'm like, girl, you going from one person to the next person, like throwing your tantrum, being spoiled, thinking that people supposed to like cater to you and
being a victim. Lord.
Yeah. Look, ain't nobody got time for victim mentality.
Right. And I mean, all of that, I just felt like it was still unresolved issues. Right. Yeah. I mean, Mel and Tisha agreed to like not ever speak of this again because they're both sick of it. But Tisha keeps bringing it up.
And she's going to bring it up again, even though they just agreed to not bring it up.
Right. But they did both agree to just remain respectful. Because Mel was like, this entire time I haven't, girl, sweethearted, honeyed you, and you over here, girl, you know, she was like,
exactly.
let's just be respectful. So.
Exactly. Well, they could be respectful until those mamas came out.
Mm-hmm.
You know how Miss Wanda is when Miss Wanda comes about.
Oh, I can't with Miss Wanda. Look,
I cannot.
Miss Vanessa Van said, it's good seeing Mel happy. And she thinks that Mel made the best decision for herself.
She did.
Which made Mel kind of tear up, you know.
Yeah.
And get a little emotional. And I think Carlos even asked, what did he say? I forget the question he asked. He said something about, he was asking.
He asked Martell if he thought that that Mel's mom was for their marriage.
Right.
He said, he thought that she was team Mel and Martell and
that's right
to work out. But they just didn't. I don't know how he ended that, but basically they just didn't or whatever.
He said he tried, right?
Look, if that's your trying, I hate to see when you're trying to sabotage it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So
go ahead.
I think Carlos asked, then that switched to gears to Carlos asking Martell if he told his kids about his other son. And of course, blame game. Well, Mel told them. Mel told them already.
I like Mel's response though. Mel said, I am not responsible for your lie.
That's right. I don't have to protect your lie. That's right.
Yes, yeah.
And
exactly.
I'm also glad to hear, because based on the previews, I couldn't really tell, but I'm so glad to hear that she didn't intentionally go to that restaurant or whatever, knowing they were there. She had no idea that they were there. And her oldest, Mariah, was in the backseat, happened to see them together as a family, as a unit. And it was halfway hanging out the window talking about, get away from my daddy. I was like, oh.
I feel so bad for them.
I know. And it's like, what do you do as Mel? Like, she already saw what she saw. But she said she still didn't put two and two together as far as him with, like, fathering another child. Like, she still didn't know.
Yeah. So, that's probably a little bit above. That's probably a little bit above her maturity level. But then Carlos backed it up again and was like, but why haven't you told your children?
Right. And he said, are you embarrassed by it?
Mm-hmm. What do you think? Do you think he's embarrassed?
He is definitely embarrassed. Mm-hmm. And you know why he's embarrassed? Because when he explained something to his kids, well, he said, I made mistakes, but my son is not a mistake, right? Yeah. But how do you explain that to your children, right? How do you explain that to your children? So I'm pretty sure he's embarrassed by his own actions because he has to like answer to his kids at this point, right? And they're going to be asking, because kids are blunt, they're honest. Like, why did you do that? You know right from wrong, Daddy. Why did you do that? And he knows the questions are coming and he's going to have to answer to them. So
yeah, I think that he's definitely ashamed. And I think that he feels as if when he tells them the truth, that the kids are going to draw a line in the sand and they're going to be more for mom than they are for him, because they'll be looking at him like, you tore apart our family. Like it wasn't mom, or it wasn't you guys disagreeing mutually. Like you, like if you wouldn't have done that, we would still be a unit. And that's what he's afraid of.
That's right. He because you can't tell your kids, like to everyone else, he can easily point fingers at what Mel didn't do for him and why it's Mel's fault ultimately because she wasn't satisfying him in bed. You can't tell kids that. That's not a conversation to have with children. So you are absolutely right, Erica. That's what it is.
That is definitely what it is. And and I was like, oh, sir, I hate to be in his shoes, and I don't think that, I think that it's hard for anyone to have to deal with that. But didn't you say if you make your bed, you gotta
lay in it? That's right. And like Carlos said, this is on national television. You don't have time. You need to tell them before they see it and hear it from others.
Exactly. So, and if they hear it from others, you know how the game of telephone goes. The message that you get is never the message.
It's never clear.
No, exactly. Well, then Miss Wanda interjects and put herself in the conversation, right?
And Miss Van said, well, Wanda likes to just hear herself talk. That's it.
That is it.
And Wanda was sitting there talking about, you think she would listen to you? Because they were talking about, they did the flashback with Mel and Miss Wanda interjecting again. Well, you still love this man. You still love him. Martell, do you love her? Right?
Miss Wanda.
Stay out of it. Stay out of it.
Oh my God. And then why is she gonna ask her Mama Thompson, do you think that she would listen?
I'm her mother. Exactly. Now this the part, girl, I almost threw my shoe at Miss Wanda through the TV. She said you should have been telling your daughter how to make those sex tapes in her bedroom.
Oh, girl, when I was like, huh? I said, what are you trying to say about Miss Fan?
It was she threw a stone. It was two birds with one stone. She was trying to knock out two birds, Mel and so in other words, you telling Mel her marriage didn't work out because she wasn't doing enough in the bedroom. Mm-hmm. While at the same time throwing shade at Miss Van about those sex tapes. Allegedly.
And I think, you know what, she might have been trying to hit three birds with one stone, because I think that's also a jab at her mothering, because she was like, do you think that she would listen to you or da-da-da-da?
Yep.
Like,
you're right.
Come on now, Miss Wanda. Go ahead.
I have a feeling they did a lot of editing around when after she made this comment, because everything was all cool, calm, and collected. Everybody's face was shocked, but then I think they edited some parts of it out because that was definitely below the belt.
Yeah, and I would not be surprised if something didn't pop off. I don't know. Maybe Miss Van is a cooler head and can just say little things and let it go. Because I know I'd have been like, well, when Miss wanted to say, oh, you want to see Ghetto? I would have showed you Ghetto. I would have showed her Ghetto in that sense.
Oh, trigger word though, other sides of the track. So I would have threw that out there too.
Exactly. Well, then hold on, wait. But then what is this insinuation that Miss Van was messing with Marceau and Maurice's brother.
Brother Mark. Mm-hmm.
Brother.
Yeah, what's the age gap? That's what I want to know.
That's what I was trying to figure out too. I was like, hold on, they brother. I'm like, they not that old. I mean, even if Miss Van had Mel at 17, like that's still an age difference.
Yeah. I mean, Marceau said he ain't never seen no tape. He keep hearing about it. He's never seen it. But he said there was definitely a relationship.
And they was going to see each other in hotels and going back
5-6 hours away. I don't know.
I don't know about that either. They're not even family.
It's not. But you know what though? Carlos is right. She's a grown woman. She can do what she wants to do. Ain't nobody else's business.
You know what? And if Mark makes her happy, then Mark, you keep on. You
right.
You're gonna help Miss Van get her
I know that's right. Oh my goodness. But I will say this. For the first time, I'm glad to see Tisha stick up and say something to her mom about it, saying, I told my mom to stop repeating things that she see and hear in the comments on social media and all stuff, because when you repeat them, you give it life.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's probably the smartest thing this woman's ever said.
Ever.
Yes. So I am happy to hear that she does tell her mom to kind of stay out of things or just stop it, like stop being messy.
Yeah.
Somebody has to tell.
Somebody needs to be telling her, because I'm gonna tell you, she a whole messy. And then she jumped from Mel and Martell over to Kimmy, calling Kimmy a snake. Yeah, her and Tisha calling Kimmy a snake. I'm like, why y'all always coming after Kimmy? Like she's
the sweetest person ever.
Exactly. Like y'all, she does not have to do y'all betting for y'all. Like y'all want her to defend you, be biased in your favor and all that stuff. And then you keep sitting here jabbing at her. I'm like, oh, like y'all don't make no sense. But then she want her to come for her because they about the same age.
See, that was another shade. That's more shade. Oh my goodness. Because I just wanted to throw something at her, and Lord have mercy. So that's the thing. I just lost my train of thought. Lord have mercy. Where was I?
We were talking about Tisha's mom doing all that shade towards Kimmy and calling her names and calling her.
Right. So Miss Wanda called Kimmy a snake based on assumption.
Yeah.
Because when Kimmy and Tisha were friends, they were talking about Mel. So she was like, I'm pretty sure now that Mel and Kimmy are friends, they talking behind Tisha's back. And I'm like, so these are just assumptions that you're making.
Exactly. But the thing about it is you're making an ass of yourself, because Kimmy won't talking behind Mel's back, because when she talked about her, she said, yeah, we were talking about her.
Like, to her face.
To her face. Like, so you can't be talking behind somebody's back if they ask you and you say, yeah, I was talking about you. That's not talking behind your back. Like, I feel like if you try to pretend like it didn't happen, that's another situation. But you been owned up to it. Like, I'm sorry, we were talking about you. We just were. Like, I don't think that's being shady.
Yeah, it's not. It's not. Carlos said, do you feel? Oh, sorry. We just said that.
Gotcha.
Kimmy said, I talk to people who can hear me. And I was like, there you go, Kimmy.
That's there you go.
Yeah.
Hello.
I talk to people who can hear me and who can reason. And I feel like I'm not getting that. So I don't know what else to do. And that's why I'm not being shady. I don't have the capacity to give them what they think I should be doing.
And that's it. Like, she can go ahead on and sign that and leave it alone.
Right. Exactly.
Because they want her to be loyal without any reason, and it's just unfair, the expectations that they have of her.
Right. I mean, even like the little flashback they did when at that sponsorship banquet thing, when Kimmy supposedly didn't text back or reply back to the text.
And she sent the check though.
Right. She sent the check though. But then Tisha made it a big deal. She's like, yeah, I didn't get a check from you or you. But she failed to mention that Kimmy did, like at least recognize the effort. And that's why Kimmy said what she said. She was like, so is it better to not get a text back but get a check, or get a text back and not get a check? And I'm like, there you go.
Look, you want the money or what?
Right. And she just, she aggravates me. Tisha really aggravates me. She really does.
Kimmy wouldn't say it, but I do believe that Tisha is a bit immature.
Yeah, because Carlos said it and she was like, I wouldn't use the word immature. I was like, I would
with two hands.
Definitely.
Very good definition of the actions.
Yeah, because Tisha said, I don't talk to people who don't reason as well, but for some reason Kimmy's not owning up to my feelings. Oh, get out of here. I
was like, she's supposed to own your feelings?
Right.
Like, I'm like, why is she owning your feelings, ma'am? Like, those are yours to own for yourself.
There you go. And if you know Kimmy, you know her intent is never to make you feel some type of way. That's not Kimmy. And you know that. She's even said it before. She said Kimmy's not like that. So if you know this information, why do you keep putting Kimmy in these positions where it's like she can't win for losing? Just
exactly. Well, that's what they want. That's the position they want her to be, basically. I think that's true of Mel and Martell too, because I don't know if you saw, you should have, when they were transitioning after the moms and they were having a conversation about Martell wanting to be the villain on social media. And Mel was like, oh yeah, being disliked. He was the most disliked person on the show, or whatever. And they said on TV, my bad. And then Mel was like, he likes being the villain. And then here comes Martell, telling him, well, I'm just trying to be the best man that I can be without you. Like,
right.
Mm-hmm. There you go being petty. There you go trying to play the victim again, like somebody done you wrong. Sir, you had a whole affair on her and a whole baby on her. Like, for her to even be in some banter talking about you, because I thought it was light fun between, takes or whatever. For her to be in banter, going back and forth about you, that's good, because I couldn't even do it. Like, I want to do it.
I know that's right. And then he's still in that, just be quiet. Like, first of all, you're not about to sit here and tell me to be quiet.
Exactly. And so we can talk about it later. And she was like, no, we can't talk about it later. And he was like, oh, you forget I got my phone. I got your phone number. And she was like, nope.
That's not my number.
She said, that's a track phone. I said, nah, I went and bought a government trace phone for the kids to talk to.
She's like, that is not my number.
Oh my God. I thought that was hilarious. I said, dang. Yeah. I said, he can't even get a real phone to talk to her on. No Facebook. That one, right?
Oh my goodness, Lord. Like, I don't blame Mel that she probably blocked him. He don't have a real phone number. Because there's no need for them to talk unless it's about the children. Exactly. And I 100% agree with that. So yeah, I'm not mad at it.
Look, you can get this number that I can control when I pick up the phone and don't have to worry about putting it in my, in my face when I don't need to. Well, then the show closed out, right? What was the question that Carlos asked them? He said, what did he say? As he was closing out the show, I can't remember. Something about is everything resolved or something like that?
Oh, he said, now that we got everything off our chest, everybody was like, no, we didn't.
Yeah. I was screaming at the TV. I was like, oh, we did? Like, come on. I was like, we needed a part 4 of this reunion, because opening up cans of worms, and then he'd be like, no, they're not the right type of worms. Let me go to the next can. Like, he opened up so many cans in that last reunion and just let it be.
Yes, it was a lot of unresolved issues, even with especially with Kimmy and Tisha, I feel like, because I forgot to mention, Carlos did ask Maurice and Marceau as brothers, how do they feel now that their wives' relationship, friendship is kind of like fractured.
Yeah.
And they both said it was difficult, but Marcel was like, well, it sucks because they don't know how to take the emotion out of it or something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember what he said. I do remember him asking.
Oh, no. He said it's difficult because their inability to block outside noise. And I'm like, tell your wife that. Like, that's not Kimmy. That is all.
That is your wife.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I was just like, but
it should be interesting.
Definitely unresolved issues with every relationship, I think.
Yeah.
So
no, absolutely. Now the question is, do you think they're going to bring another couple in for next season, or do you think they're going to let it just ride out with the couples that they have in Destiny?
Well, I was like, well, is Tiffany and Louis fired? That's what I wanted to know.
I don't think so. I mean, there's much conversation they brought about that show. I would be surprised if they let them go, even though they was asked to be fired. Like he said, the internet almost broke asking them.
Yeah. Right. I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know.
I can't say yeah or nay just because, like, we didn't know who Tiffany was. Like, she's never even made a cameo on the show, but somehow they're there. So who knows?
I know. And here I go calling Huntsville small again. But in Huntsville, who else could they bring to the show? Like, that would be the question.
Right.
So I don't know. All right, final thoughts for the season. Anything that you're looking forward to? Because we did find out that there is another season coming. What's your final thoughts on this one, and what do you want to see in the future?
I would like to see Mel and Martell in a better place.
Okay.
For the kids' sake.
Okay.
For the kids' sake. And I pray that Martell talks to his children about their sibling, their other half sibling.
Yes, this is true. I don't know that they're going to be in a better place by the time the next season starts. For them to be in a better place, Martell would have to take ownership of what he did and accept that he made a mistake that cannot be corrected. And I don't think he's there yet.
Yeah. You know what else I would like to see?
What's that?
Or not see? Miss Wanda. I don't want to see her again.
Can we get a season where Miss Wanda only comes to a cookout and never appears on camera?
Right.
I need her not. She causes so much drama. I do love when she is on camera with Marceau, though, because Marceau does not take her mess.
They're the best. Like, they deserve one another.
Yes.
They deserve each other. They do.
For all the poor communication that he has with his wife, he can clearly communicate the things that he needs to say to Miss Wanda.
Clearly, yes. I'm not gonna lie. I crack up watching their interaction.
Oh my God! Do you remember the scene where he was like in the kitchen looking out the blinds and she was like on the porch? I thought that was so comical because I'm like, why are you peeking on the enemy?
No, do you not remember the part where he had got snip and he was laying up in the bed and she gonna just walk up in his room fussing at him, and I'm like, he is like, first of all, you're not just gonna come up in my room in my house and disrespect me.
Exactly. Right? Like, what in the world? They are funny. Okay, so one thing that I want to see next season is do something with these 47 acres that they've been talking about for 20 years.
Yes, I know that's right.
Can I see a house, a street? Can I see the development? Like, can I see the whole 47 acres? Can I see something?
I know that's right. Something. They keep talking about it.
They keep talking about it. I do also just want maybe for Tisha to take some more ownership for her actions or lack thereof. If we could see some growth in her, I think that we would be cooking with grease, but only time will tell.
Only time. Yep.
Well, Carlos ended the episode by saying that they were a great a great cast. They gave stellar performances, or stellar content, because I guess it's not a performance because it's reality TV, or whatever. I will say that they do give a good source of entertainment, and so I cannot wait until the next next season, and to see all will come of that season. So we'll go ahead and wrap up for now, until they come back. They didn't even say when they were coming back, which is a shame.
Yeah, they did not.
Oh my God. Well, until that time, I want you guys to go ahead and hit the like button, because I know you enjoyed this conversation just as much as we enjoyed having it. Make sure that you subscribe to our channel so you never miss an episode of anything, and then share our content with other people. Until next season, bye.
Bye.